Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have Gerald. Gerald is from Kansas City in the USA. So let's see what Gerald has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Gerald, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
And thank you for having me.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's pretty good. We're finally getting out of the cold front here, so it's finally warming up. Sun is shining, so it's been a pretty good day.
Let's see. So tell me, what has been the highlight of your weekend so far?
Well, me and my boyfriend had a little date night last night because he had a Saturday off for the first time in years, so we had fun. Yeah, that's kind of about it.
Tell me where you're from, Gerald.
I'm originally from a small town called Cassville, Missouri. Population of about 3,000 people. And I lived there for about 20 something years, moved to Illinois for about 2 years, and then now I'm up in Kansas City. I've been here for about 2 years now, too. It's been pretty fun.
So tell me, what's the biggest joy of living there, in your opinion?
There's a lot more to do. There's a lot more people to meet, and there's a lot more that I can do with my art. Express it more, get it out there more to the public, which has been really fantastic. I've had a lot more opportunities up here than I have anywhere else.
I see. Amazing. Okay, so let's start the interview talking about your arts. I know you are an artist, so tell me a little bit about how everything started.
Well, I've always been kind of artistic as a child. Not so much expressive about it, but I definitely dabbled in it when I was younger. My aunt, uh, she's no longer with us, but she painted quite a bit too, which kind of inspired me. And then it was in 2016 when I was living in Illinois, I had watched the first Conjuring movie, and the demonic nun in that movie just inspired me so much to make my first canvas painting. And
Wow.
then I proceeded to do a whole little series of like horror paintings. And then after a few years, stuff just happened. And then I picked it back up in 2020 during the pandemic because I really didn't have anything else to do. And at that point, I really wanted to get more serious about it and kind of explore being an artist more because I knew I had something. So I just sat down one night and watched a whole bunch of Bob Ross episodes and learned how to paint trees and cabins and kinds of stuff. And it's led to some really great things so far.
Wow, that's amazing. I think it's such a fascinating story when somehow you can, somehow you have some ideas and inspire the people and somehow you are, put your arts together. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I can be inspired really by anything, something from a movie or a song or even, a rock, and it kind of just depends on, what it is and time of day. But yeah, I mean that's one of the greatest things about being an artist is being inspired by so many different things.
Absolutely. And it's like you have different ideas and also be an artist, you're very open-minded. So you can relate to different things as well and somehow create other things. That's amazing.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, definitely. Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Gerald, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Something interesting about you. I mean, I guess a lot of things would be interesting about me because I'm pretty a reclusive person, but I guess a lot of people would be interested to know that I'm kind of an old man. I don't I don't stay up really past 8 o'clock. I'm up, by 4 a.m. I love watching birds. I don't do a whole lot of partying or going out type of stuff, but yeah, that's I guess that's kind of the most exciting thing about me.
You are an early bird.
Yes, definitely. I love getting up in the mornings.
Honestly, me too. I wake up around 4:20, 4:30 to go to the gym. I start my day at this time as well, when everything's very dark.
Yeah, I love getting up with my coffee and just watching the sunrise and the birds sing. It is quite beautiful.
And you always been like this way?
Hmm.
Always been?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I've always been an early bird. There was like a year in my life where I tried to work night shift, third shift somewhere, and I couldn't do it. It wore me out so much. I missed waking up in the mornings. It was so nice.
Amazing. Gerard, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Sure.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Yes, you always can dance with me. So before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, don't want to talk about, always can change. Okay?
Okay.
Amazing. First question is, what's the best compliment have you ever received?
Best compliment I've received. It would be really anything about my artwork. That any compliment about my artwork, I always, appreciate that more than a compliment about my appearance. Um, but another compliment would be when people tell me that they enjoy my relationship. They enjoy me and my boyfriend being together. People love being around both of us, which is something that I really enjoy.
Wow. And how did your paths cross, you and your boyfriend?
Well, we met online, and originally him and I were very about not being in a relationship. We just kind of wanted to be, friends with, benefits. And then the benefits kind of spread to more, personal life. And we slowly fell in love with each other. It wasn't like a hard, oh my God, we're so in love. It was a very nice, slow burn. And we very much got to enjoy each other's company before we really explored a deep relationship, which is what I really loved about it.
Wow. And he's from Kansas City as well, or not?
He he's lived here for a while. He's originally from New Jersey and then lived in New
Mhm.
York for about 12 to 15 years.
Wow.
But yeah, he's lived in Kansas City for a while now.
Okay. Okay, so your boyfriend is watching this interview right now, and you have a moment and opportunity to send him a message. What would you say? He's watching.
Mhm. Um, hmm, I would just say that I really love you and I am going to enjoy spending the rest of my life with you
Oh,
and quit farting in the bed when we're sleeping.
sweet. Lovely. Next question, let's do it. Okay,
Awesome.
next question. Next question is, what's something that you always wanted to do but you're scared of?
Hmm. It's not that I'm really ever scared of doing anything, I guess. I guess a roller coaster. A roller coaster is something I've always kind of wanted to do, but after that Final Destination movie, I've always been kind of, you know. But yeah, there's not a lot of things I'm really scared to do, I guess. Like I don't really have a desire to jump out of an airplane, so wouldn't say I'm scared to do it by any means. But yeah, I guess a roller coaster.
When you think about yourself, when you analyze Gerald, what's the best part of being you?
My confidence.
Hmm.
A lot of confidence, and a lot of people point it out. And I never really noticed it because I kind of had to give it to myself. But yeah, I would definitely say my confidence.
And what's something about yourself that you kind of work on, you like that you think you can improve, or something that you are aware of it? There's something.
Well, I mean, this is kind of a loaded question because one thing that I learned through a bad relationship was that there are many things that I will always have to improve on until I'm, at least well into my 70s, 80s, there are a lot of things that I know I can improve on and work on, and there are a lot of things that I have worked on. Um, and I'm really proud of that because I'm a completely different person than when I was just, 5, 10 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of things, but I would say now um, the biggest thing I would have to work on is my patience. I don't have a whole lot of patience. I have some, but not a whole lot. But I think that is more because I've worked, over 10 years in retail customer service, and that does kind of wear it very thin. So, but yeah, I would say patience would be the biggest one.
And it's funny talking to you. I just started you not long ago, and I can feel this confidence. It comes from, I can see this confidence on you. I think it's interesting to see that because when you mention, I was like, it makes sense now. You come across as a very confident person. That's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that I will say that it was kind of a fake it till you make it situation. There was a lot of years I had a fake confidence because I used to be 400 pounds and I'm only, 5'3" tall. So, short gay kid in school, I was bullied so much. So,
Wow.
but yeah, I just got to a point where I was finally like, this is who I am. And even though, my body will change, my mentality will change, I still have to stick by who I am, work on what I can and just improve.
Totally. And it makes sense actually when you go through some tough time as a kid, somehow build this confidence on you. It's like a protection as well.
It is. And it's a lot more appreciated when you have to do it yourself, because
Mhm.
you can learn confidence from your parents, but if you're kind of on your own, it's a harder task.
Totally. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being an artist? Yeah, what do you like the most about it? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging?
Well, I want to answer that second question first, um, because everything about art can can be challenging, and there have been times where some of the easiest things I can do, like paint a whole bunch of trees. There's some times where I'm just like, God, I'm not doing this right. This doesn't look right. I have to figure it out. So, I mean, there are a lot of things that can be challenging, but I would say that that's kind of my favorite thing about making art. Because if making art was super easy, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. I think having those difficult roadblocks sometimes and having to learn a different way to do it or a different way to go about it, or even coming up on like, roadblock, writer's block, where you're kind of like staring at a blank canvas, you don't know what to do. I think that those are some of the best moments. Those are some of my favorite moments because while it is fun to make beautiful artwork, it's better to constantly improve what you're doing because otherwise you just wind up stale, kind of doing the same thing. And it's a big reason that I do just so many different things like, pop art or cartoons or landscapes or even, scary horror pieces is because I want to be able to do all these things, not as like a jack of all trades situation, but I just want to be able to know how to do all these things because it's fun. It's fun to learn. It's fun to challenge yourself.
Wow. And do you paint every day, or you just need to be inspired by, or how does work your schedule?
I really do try to paint every day. Especially in the mornings. One thing that I really love is I love waking up in the mornings, having my coffee for, about an hour, a couple cigarettes, and then, I'll come in here and I'll paint. Just for hours until usually my boyfriend wakes up and then we'll start doing stuff. But that's mostly on the days that I don't work because I work retail and I work early in the mornings. So When I can, yeah. And a lot of times, I do paint, at night when he's at work and I'm just home by myself. I'll just come in here and kind of dilly-dally around. But yeah, the prime time for me to really paint is first thing in the
I see. Okay. Next question is, what is the most memorable lesson you've learned from your parents?
morning. This is I don't want to skip this question, but it won't be very lighthearted if that's okay.
That's okay. I can take another one if you want to, just to feel more
Oh, no, no,
comfortable.
no, no, no. I'm fine with answering it. I just want to um so the best thing that I learned from my parents is how not to be like they were growing up.
Hmm. Right.
I don't have the best relationship. My father has passed. He passed over 10 years ago. And any issues that I've had with him, I've let go because I can't hold on to a grudge with a dead man. It's not worth my time. My mother, on the other hand, she is alive, and I don't hate her. I'm very indifferent towards her, which is a completely different feeling. But growing up, um, they weren't the best support system.
Hmm.
So the best thing that I learned from them is evaluating their life, and realizing that the way that they went about a lot of things is not the way that I should go about those things either. So just yeah, that would be it, is learning how not to act like they were.
I
And
see.
one of the best things about that was that they were kind of far apart in age. So I kind of got a good glimpse of, how not to act in my early 20s and how not to act, now that I'm coming into my 30s and, the next 10 years, my 40s. So,
I see. Yes, I think sometimes relationship with our parents, I think society is expecting something like maybe easy or beautiful, and so and most of the time can be this way. I think sometimes there based of course your story as well. I think sometimes we look comforts in our family members, and sometimes they're not the place to find that. So I understand your point, but again, I think it's somehow those things happen in our lives for a reason. Sometimes we learn and we become a better person, and you just accept the way it is, you know what I mean? I totally understand your point.
hmm. And it also is about, kind of picking your own support system. Because while my parents weren't the best, I did have a fairly good support system with my aunt and my older sister and a few of my cousins. I look up to them very fondly. I talk to my older sister every damn day. We're very close. So,
Well,
even though it is kind of sad my parents were there, I really look back and try to remember fondly on the people who were there, because otherwise I'd be sad all the time.
totally. Yeah, I like that as well. I think we always find the good in other things as well, the good part of it.
My sister and I are inspired by her because she did painting, she did baking, she did gardening, she did all sorts of stuff, and she was a huge
Wow.
support system for both of us. And my sister, really got into baking because of her, and she was kind of just selling around her military base when she was up in Alaska, and it really took off. She did really, really well up there, and now she just recently moved to Virginia with her family, and she's kind of finding her footing there. She's getting there though. She's making sales, so I'm very proud of her.
That's
Yes,
beautiful. I can see her watch this interview right now and smiling after those beautiful words.
I hope she does.
Next question. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, you can have a sip. What you drinking, by the way?
It is coffee.
Coffee. Amazing. Okay, so before the next question, of course, you can see this beautiful picture behind you. So tell me a little bit about it. What's the message behind? What's the idea behind of it?
Well, right now I'm not really too sure. It is a still life. Um,
Hmm.
I'm still kind of finding what I want to do with it, because a lot of times when I do paintings, I'll kind of just go into it and kind of just start doing something and then feel around. And then
Mhm.
somewhere in the middle of doing like a lot of the background, especially on a still life, is where I'll kind of find, okay, this is kind of what I'm going for, you know. And a lot of times it's inspired by music, like especially my still lifes. If you, a lot of the names of my paintings are inspired by like song titles or song lyrics. I'm very heavily inspired by artists like Kate Bush. She her music really inspired my artwork heavily, especially during
Yeah.
the pandemic. I love Kate Bush with all my heart. But
Wow.
it was through listening to her music, for some reason, I just got really inspired to do still life paintings. So a lot of times when I do them, they are inspired by like one of her songs or one of her song titles.
Wow. Okay, as you are fond of Kate Bush, I would like to answer the next question with your best British accent, okay? I'm joking.
I could never, they would come after me with pitchforks and torches. I could never.
I'm joking, I'm just teasing you now. Next question is, if someone gave you an envelope with your death date inside of it, would you open it or not? And why?
You know, it's a very interesting question because I guess 10 years ago I would have said yes, just because I always had this thought that I wanted to know when it was going to happen so that way I could like live life to the fullest. But the older that I get and the more that I experience with, you know, different things in life, the more I realize that no, I would much rather it be a surprise because it's supposed to be a surprise. We're not supposed to know, and that's for a reason. You know, if we knew for a fact when it was going to happen, and unfortunately, we do see that sometimes. You know, people are given a death date, and it's unfortunate. So, yeah, no, I would never open it. I wouldn't want to know.
Saying that was the meaning of life for you.
I'm sorry,
The meaning of life for you.
the meaning of life. Art and love, any
Wow.
kind of art. Both art and love are very much umbrella terms because you can make any kind of art and you can give any kind of love. So I think those are the two things that are really meaningful to life.
Wow. And I think love and art, they work together as well, always.
They do
Love it,
because you can't have one without the other.
totally. Three questions left. Let's do it. Hey, Gerard. Next question is, what's the best advice have you ever given?
Best advice I've ever been given:
Yeah.
don't take advice from other people.
Mm,
Um, and I know, as an artist, that's kind of a backhanded response to other artists who do kind of help. But in this sense, what I'm speaking mainly of is people who give you sort of advice that is, oh, just keep going, just keep trying, just keep doing it, you'll get there one day, et cetera, et cetera. The amount of times that I've heard that in the years that I've, been making art, it has slowly been getting to a point where it has become patronizing. Because in the
mhm.
beginning, it is nice to hear those words of encouragement from your support system. But then sometimes, you get to a point where you're simply just, posting a painting online and somebody is suddenly like, oh, just keep going. One day you'll get there. And it's not like I'm giving up. So why would you give that type of advice to somebody, So that would be my advice. If somebody comes along and tells you something, I'll just keep going, just keep trying, don't listen to them because they don't really have your best interest when it comes to what you're trying to do.
And be an artist in Kansas City. Do you think it's a place where you have the opportunities, or do you think it's a bit difficult to be an artist there?
Oh no, there are definitely a lot of opportunities in Kansas City. I mean, especially as a gay artist, there are a lot of opportunities. And I'm slowly exploring them. And
Mhm.
I've had quite a bit of success already. I've been able to do our local farmers market, which is fantastic, and I'll be doing it again this year. And
Amazing.
right now, paintings are hung up in a sports bar, a gay sports bar called Gales, which is down in South Kansas City on Troost Avenue. Little shout out. But the owner had come to me and told me that he hosts local artists sometimes, and he wanted me to do like a little Halloween thing last year. And
Wow.
we did it. It was really good. And then he came back to me and was like, let's do Winter Christmas. And then now it's kind of turned into I'm kind of an all the time um, display artist in there. So that's been really great. And I've also been talking to other like local businesses to do, things in the spring and summer this year. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities in Kansas City, but if if I could give any advice on this, it's that if you're trying to get into like a big event or something in Kansas City, try to do it like early. Because there's a lot of like really big things that they do here, but you kind of like you got to jump on it like almost a year in advance to make sure you got a spot. So, but
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of opportunities if you're an artist to really branch out and explore and try to get somewhere.
And being gay in Kansas City, it's a place where you can be your true self, or sometimes can be tricky.
Well, kind of depends on the area. There are
Hmm.
some areas that are a little bit more conservative, and then there are areas that are a little bit more liberal. Um, so it does kind of just depend on where you're at. But for the most part, I mean, and I'm not, what I'm going to say does not speak for the experience of every other gay person in Kansas City. But, I personally have never, been like gay bashed or anything while I've been here. I've never really been called anything terrible, out of line in that regard. So, I've been pretty okay, but I will say that, with, certain areas of Kansas City, tread lightly if you're gonna visit.
I see. Okay, two questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, what will be your ideal day?
My ideal day. I mean, I kind of always have my ideal day because, I kind of just like things simple. I'd love to like just get up in the morning, have my coffee, paint a little bit, and then, go out and garden with my boyfriend for a little bit, and then come inside, cook dinner, just spend the night together. Very, very simple type of day. I don't want anything extravagant.
Wow. What's the biggest difference between you and a boyfriend and the biggest similarity?
The biggest difference, we definitely have a different mindset about organization. That is very clear. I will admit I am a little bit more disorganized. Um, but we do have a lot of similarities when it comes to art and when it also comes to expressing not just our love for each other, but just love for other people and emotions for other people. Um, we have quite a bit of the same taste in music, which is really nice because I couldn't be with somebody who listens to country all the time. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I would say our biggest difference actually would probably be our age because we are about 17 years apart. Which I enjoy. It's a very nice relationship.
Wow, 17 years, you said.
Mhm.
Wow, interesting. I had as well my second boyfriend. He was 14 years older than me. And understand your point. You learn a lot, sharing experience and sharing different path, and I think it's amazing. It's great.
We really do, yeah. And this is one thing that I enjoy about it is that because one thing I notice about age gap relationships is a lot of times the younger person, the person in my position will have this mindset of, oh, now I'm, super mature because I'm with this older guy. I don't have to learn anything new. And I will admit, when we first got together, I was skeptical about how other people would react to it. But I was very quickly calmed down by the fact that, I don't have that mentality. I'll always grow and learn and mature, just because I'm with an older man doesn't mean I am an older man. So I think
Totally
that's one good reason why, we'll really work out together.
beautiful. Last question, ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Last question. Wanna have a sip of your coffee? Or is okay?
I mean, it's simple.
I don't want it to get cold.
Appreciate that.
Before the last question, Gerald, tell me, you know, I know it's difficult, but tell me if you could choose one of your art, piece of your art that you've done that for some reason have a special place in your heart or is one of your favorites, something behind that. If you could choose just one, what that would be?
So I have my answer. Um, this painting, unfortunately, I no longer have it. I wish I did. It was destroyed by my ex, unfortunately. But it was a painting, and it was meant to be a still life. And I have a picture. I'll send you a picture if you would like. But
Yeah,
it was a still life, and it was very heavily inspired by the song "Get Out of My House" by Kate Bush, which is a song about mental issues, kind of, being in your own head, having, suffering kind of thing. And I had made this painting in the middle of my very toxic relationship, trying to, find my way out of it. So this painting is really the only one I've ever done that has a lot of emotion that I put into it, that has a lot of thought and feeling, deep, heavy feeling behind it.
wow. And it's been for a while now that you painted or not?
Yeah, I painted it back in 2022. It was the summer, fall of 2022 when I had painted it. Um,
I see. Okay. Last question is, who are you most thankful for and why?
Such a good question. It is such a very good question. I would honestly, I think I would have to say my older sister. Um, there were just a lot of situations in our childhood where she really stepped up and did a lot for me and our two younger siblings. So I would definitely say her. I would definitely say my older sisters, who I'm most thankful for.
Beautiful, beautiful. Again, she's smiling. You can see her smiling again. Okay, Gerald, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
One word for money,
Coin,
family,
sister,
life,
love,
fear,
heart,
love,
art.
religion,
I don't think I could have said that word. Uh, bad,
okay? Sex,
good,
bad and good. I love it. Friendship,
love,
politics,
bad,
desire,
love.
okay? Regret,
Oh goodness. Um, Ooh, that one kind of caught me off guard. Regret. Uh, loss.
Okay. Success.
Opportunity.
Wish.
Luck.
Happiness.
Family.
Oh. One word for Kansas City.
Big.
One word for USA. Bigger. I'm joking.
I, I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't think I could say that word either.
So
Oh,
which one you say? Which one you say?
bigger. Yeah, bigger. You put
Bigger.
it bigger.
It's my fault. I put this in your heads. It's my fault.
It's all right. You helped me out.
One word for artist.
Lovers.
Amazing. I like that actually. I like that. And the last one now, if you could define all your art in one word, what that would be?
Love.
Beautiful. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet a boyfriend for a coffee and I'm going to ask him, define Gerald in one positive and one negative word only, what he would say.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a very good question. Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the question a different way. If I would ask him, what's what's something beautiful about Gerard, what he would say?
He would probably either say my personality or my art.
Okay.
I feel like one of the two.
Okay. When this interview goes live, when you get to this point, you pause it to see his answer, and after you play again to see if he got it right.
I will absolutely do that. I'll let you know. I'll let you know the answer.
Let's play now, Gerard, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. What has been your favorite thing that you've learned from somebody through
My
your
God,
entire life?
what a great question. What's something that I've learned from someone?
Your favorite thing you've learned from someone through your entire life.
Oh my God, what a great question, Gerald. You put right in the spot. I was expecting this question. I love it. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, okay, okay. It's gonna sound a bit cliche, but it's something that I've learned, I think, very early age because I don't remember a time where I was different, and I'll explain that to you. I think I've learned something very a very young age, and I'm sure it has been from my parents, my family, my mom. I think about being my truly self, be myself, and I'll tell you why I this answer just came to my mind. I had so many people here on the show. We talk about express yourself, be the way you are, and all the time I go like, my God, when I, realized that I could be my truly self. And to be honest to you, I think it's something that I've learned at a very young age because I don't really remember. And for me, something normal, natural for me to be myself all the time, even though it's not easy sometimes, it sometimes can be very difficult, but it never shined me. It never made me like, okay, I need to be somebody else because of any circumstances. I love your question and I love my answer as well because it's very genuine. And I'll tell you, so it's something that I don't know when I learned that, but somehow I always, through my life, I always had that in me that be your truly self. Sometimes it's not going to be easy, sometimes it's going to be difficult, but just be yourself and things going to get in the right place somehow. And oh my God, I love your question, Gerard. And I think it's something that I've learned very young age because I don't remember a time in my life where, of course, sometimes you need to adjust yourself to situations. You need to somehow, do you know what I mean? I understand that you cannot just be your crazy self all the time. Sometimes you just need to, like moderate yourself, yeah. But I don't
Mhm.
remember a time where I need to be somebody else because circumstances around me. Always been very lucky that I could express myself the way you are. Sometimes went wrong, sometimes went right, sometimes wasn't there. However, I think I've learned that very a long time ago, and I really don't remember when, but I think through my life I always have, the opportunity to always be my truly self. Yeah, that's my answer for you.
Yeah, I mean, that is a really good answer. That is an admirable trait to have too. Because there's, I mean, not a lot of people, a lot of people, especially gay people, have to really work up to that point where they don't feel
Totally.
like they, you know, that's why so many of them, have frosted tips or bleached hair, it's just, so it is an admirable trait to have to be able, at a young age, just, I don't need to be anybody else but myself. So yeah, I really love that. Yeah, that is a good
Wow.
personality.
Wow. Thanks for the question. You put me in the spot right away. I wasn't prepared for a question like that. You're totally right. I think being gay or being, out of the society standards, sometimes, most of the time, not easy. But I remember I had a hard time as well growing up, being bullied at school. I had situations, but I never changed myself. Somehow I was shy, or I was, never been sad, to be honest. I remember when I was being bullied, I was distracted. I was focusing something else, and somehow I got this negativity away from me. But I never changed the way I was, because for sure I've learned that my mom or somebody told me very young age that I didn't even remember, and that stuck in my personality, and I'm very grateful for that. Thanks for the question. I love it.
No,
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. Yes, it was very fun.
Thanks again. Thanks for being so kind and so sweet and accept my invitation. And thanks for being so open as well. I love this, this connection you have with your sister. And I think, I love you've been so open about, about your relationship with your parents and things how didn't go the way that people expecting. And somehow you saw the positive in it, you connect with other people around you. A lesson that I really liked that, Gerald, because all of us, we have difficulties growing up. We have things that sometimes people, they don't even know, and sometimes talking about. And I think people now watch this interview, they might relate to that and go like, you know what? If he's talking about, it's something of encouragement for us to, it's part of healing and helping others as well. So thanks for being so open and talk about that. Before you
Yeah, no
go,
problem.
if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
A positive message. This is a message I kind of give to everybody that I talk to. Um, just make artwork, and just spread love, enjoy. Don't, and a lot of people have, anger issues. Take your anger issues out on a canvas. Make art. That's my positive message.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, regards to your boyfriend, to your sister, and your friends, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay? Take
Yeah.
care.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.